Oh, our mics have been live the whole time. Oh, that's glorious. First up, guys, welcome to a very special episode of Wait, Did I Roll a Wild? Your Marvel Crisis Protocol vlog. As you may have heard over the last 2 minutes, I'm Tim, and with me this week for a very nice episode is Big Chuck, all the way from Elite Eight Showdown. He is a little bit broken, but that's okay. What's the worst that can happen?
Oh.
So if you are just tuning in now, you missed out. Beef Dragon is here. We're super excited to see him, and sometimes the mics get turned on well before I intended them to be live. But we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of stuff this week. We have some games played, some hobby thoughts. We also just got back from running our own What If event over at beardeddragongames.online, except the store in person here in upstate New York, where we had a pretty decent, solid turnout. Mm-hmm. People driving as far as six hours away. Shout out to Otis and his son, Wolf, who came and
Do you think he helped him drive?
What's that?
Do you think he helped him drive?
I would imagine so. I think most responsible, well-intentioned, even-keeled people would make sure to offer.
Yeah.
To offer that.
Unless he has a girlfriend.
Keebler drove from Syracuse, and we had a couple guys from Albany, too. I think the average travel distance was like 2 hours, 2+ hours.
Dang.
Right?
I mean...
0 locals.
If it's... Yeah. It's actually kind of funny. Like, I had to work, so I couldn't pop in.
Yeah.
Dan... The only time I saw Dan was he was standing like he usually does, where he looks like a frog trying to pull his pants up, but didn't actually see him playing.
Gotcha.
So I don't know if he was TOing.
No, he did have a bye in the first round, so
okay.
that could have been why he was helping out, making sure I figured out how to use long shanks and stuff.
Yeah, good call.
Taylor got to play as well.
Oh yeah, Taylor was there.
And then so we'll touch on that. We'll touch on some of the stuff that we've hobbied this week, as well as a game that Dan and I played this past Monday on the Power Phase, which is at twitch.tv/professional casual network. You can check out the VOD there before it goes over to the YouTube as well. We're also going to touch on some of the stuff that was kind of sneak peeked a little bit. Not even really sneak peeked, but just teased, I suppose would be the right word. Just a little tickle of teasing. With some stuff and some organized play, or not really ultimate encounters. I think organized play is the way to describe it. 3 custom scenarios that AMG will be releasing during Ministravaganza. That is specifically a renewal of vows. Very nice.
It's cute.
Lastly, I wrote something else in the details of this episode that we will go over. Oh, and that's rampant speculation about some of the things happening potentially at Ministravaganza. And
that's next week.
That's next week. And you'll be able to check all of that out right over at twitch.tv/professional casual network, as well as Atomic Mass Games. They'll be live streaming. We will be making sure to give our very, very, very casually professional anecdotes on what they release and talk about there. As we'll also be at Atlantic City Open, ACO. During that weekend as well.
I would argue that there's a possibility that we could be getting like hot you could be getting hot information. I don't want the fans to get too excited. I will not be at ACO, unfortunately.
Right. I would have offered to help drive you, but
yeah, I was just kind of like, no, let's not get crazy.
Right.
13 and a half hours to Illinois. Fine. Making me go to Jersey? I don't think so.
Yeah. Super fair.
Yeah.
As they've said, sometimes the light on the other end of the tunnel is just Jersey.
That's true.
But we'll be there.
You can smell it.
That's true.
Shout out to Jersey.
Shout out to Jersey.
Last time I was in Jersey, I was in a backyard wrestling match and got a concussion and don't remember my drive home.
Ooh. No one offered to help drive you home?
No. I was by myself, to be fair. Also, always travel with a buddy, in case you end up in a backyard wrestling match and get a concussion.
Do you have an exit buddy?
I don't.
Something important to always have on hand.
Yeah, just in life.
But to start out the week, Chuck, how have you been? It's been a hot minute.
It's been a hot minute.
A hot Chuck and summer minute.
Yeah,
since we've
I haven't
seen you.
been. I've survived the end of the semester at my job, and now I'm here. So,
Speaking of
mhm.
last summer,
Yeah,
we ran an event. We did the Infinity League
correct. We did.
last summer. You partook, I partook, Taylor, Danny.
Yeah, I tried to run Inhumans, and then you stomped us with the Power Bottom 10.
The Power Bottom 10, the 10 most least played characters in some of the online communities at the time. But one of the members of that Power Bottom 10 was Ultron, and we had decided
He
at
was the 10.
time- He was the 10. He was the bottom.
Yeah.
The powerest bottom. And we had decided at that time we were going to get a statue for whoever came in last, whoever became the power bottom of the league.
It was me.
It did turn out to be you, and 10 months later, we have finally painted that trophy. So on behalf of the Infinity League that we ran last year, I'm going to show the camera here this beautiful custom piece. Look at that.
Dang.
The gold
Wow.
Ultron.
I love that for you, bud.
So while here's the thing, I love it for you as now it is.
Oh, it is mine. That's
yours.
true.
It is your trophy.
I am officially the Golden Ultron.
You are.
Wow.
So we didn't get it engraved or anything, but
Right. No, that's fine.
But
I
Taylor
get that.
did a spectacular job.
He really turned this to make it look gold.
Gold plating it. Yep.
I want to say that my dad's going to be proud of me.
Yeah. You should be.
But when a man doesn't have any legs, it's kind of hard for him to figure out whether he can actually care about a trophy.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
Super fair.
Yeah.
Now, as far as hobby stuff that
Sure.
you've done this week, what have you been up to?
Past month.
Your Instagram has been
Hot.
fire recently.
It's been lit, as the kids say.
Yeah.
I think a couple of years ago. I don't know. It's been schmoopled, I think is the new word.
Yeah, yeah, because lit obviously referring to the 90s punk band.
Yes.
Lit.
What have I painted in the past month? MCP wise, I don't think much of anything.
I don't think much of anything.
No, much of anything either. I have been cranking out some just like random stuff that I've had on my desk. I had a huge commission part of a huge commission I got done. That's pretty much it. I did decide to brush off some Legion stuff.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have some Legion stuff coming down the pipe really soon, which I'm really excited about. But
speaking of, as far as hobby stuff for the week, I have also dived in.
dived
Dived in.
I believe is
Dividended.
yes, dividended.
Dividended into some Star Wars Legion as well.
Really?
We'll be
What's your
clipping.
feelings so far?
Seems pretty good. I checked out the 5th Troopers podcast. Their season 3 has a so you're starting out Star Wars Legion.
Oh, there you go.
And first episode was about, kind of Star Wars Legions as a whole and the best ways to get into it, what core boxes to buy, or kind of the best way to go about it. Episode 2 went into what each different faction does and what they do best, so you can kind of narrow down what you wanted to play. Episode 3 actually talked about painting and getting things assembled and ready.
There you go.
Episode 4 talked about terrain. So I'm getting there. I'm getting to the point where I'm going to start clipping and priming and painting, maybe even buy an airbrush. I figure since I have zero skills whatsoever, I might as well just start with the thing that people sometimes don't get around to, which is airbrushing.
That is a interesting endeavor for you.
Yeah. Yep. I'm actually very excited to have the airbrush stuff kind of just sit in my basement for the next couple of years.
Yeah, fair. Accurate. What are you leaning at?
Empire
Yeah,
or
same.
droids.
Droids, specifically droids?
Yeah, CIS, I think it's called.
Okay.
What I
The new group? The Shadow?
So what I'd really like to do is that, but that's not coming out for a little bit. So
They
wanna,
got a little bit still, I think.
yeah. So I want to be able to get my feet under me.
You could, hypothetically. We have it on the store?
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah.
If
Bearded
it's not-
Dry Games down online.
If it's not at beardeddragongames.online, you can get it from 5thtrooper.com.
That's true. Either or.
So
But if you use promo code PCME10,
that's true.
PCME10, yeah.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, Might as well throw it out because someone's got to use it.
Yeah.
If you use promo code at Bearded Dragon Games Down Online, not PCNME10, you'll get 11% off.
11%.
That is not a joke. That is just a gimmick that we started on a different show that actually had it, and only 10 people can use that promo code,
10 people
and
can
nobody has used it yet. So
not true.
really, somebody used
There
it?
have been some used.
Ooh, then you better go and... I mean, 11% might actually cover, like, shipping.
It might have been just Taylor buying individual paints 10
Tracks.
different times. But yeah.
It's still there. It's still working, though.
Some have been used. And if you haven't already pre-ordered Black Swan, Supergiant, Heimdall, and Scourge, you can do that right now without a code for 15% off over at BeardedDragonGames.online.
Snap.
That deal is only up before they are released, so it has to be pre-order. But you get 15%.
Out of that set, what are you most excited about?
It is difficult for me because I love both of them. I think they're such cool pieces. Black Swan, I think, will probably be like a bread and butter. I'm going to be putting her into a lot of lists.
I think she'll be your Bob. Was it Bob that you were like working into everything?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And Supergiant will be one that I'm going to want to take a lot. I feel she's a little bit easier to fit into rosters as she's only 3 points. But I think she's super neat, just super neat, especially if you're running against like Brotherhood or something like that has a lot of heavy physical.
Yeah.
I think she's an absolute MVP there.
I haven't been on the show in a while.
Yeah.
Do you? So I've been kind of crunching and thinking and, making up things like I normally do. Do you think Black Order operates well with, like, we have the possibility of Corvus with First of the Black Order.
Yep.
And then we have Black Swan coming out. My initial reaction was the last thing Black Order needs is another 5-threat character, because I feel like Black Swan has a place at 4-threat, but her efficiency and stock immediately goes up by like 3 trillion % the second that you slap that power gem on her.
Yeah.
And for one extra threat, I think that it's kind of silly to not, because otherwise she's trying to play on like hard mode. Not hard mode, but I guess you have to try mode.
Yeah.
Like a difficult Dan mode, some would argue.
Correct. There's with the power gem, you take off a lot of variability that you no longer need to worry about, making sure that you do damage. And, just being able to charge and laser eyes, without any setup.
Yeah, I think it's pretty brutal. But do you think that because you're putting the gem on her, you have Corvus, do you not now take a gem on Corvus and you run him as your 4?
No, so for me, very specifically, because of the way the first of the Black Order works, it gives everyone more power anyway. There's a couple things I'd like to try, and it's non-Thanos lists. It'll probably be Corvus with a reality gem.
I think everybody's tired of Thanos.
Yeah.
I think so. He's
very good at what he does, which is kind of a little bit of everything.
Right. Yeah. Unfortunately, he's 6+ threat to do it. And if you really need him, he's 9 threat or whatever the total is.
Yep.
Now, this is a statement that I'm going to make, knowing that I have very effectively used Corvus. I'm not a Corvus guy. I don't get it. Like, I don't get the hype. I know he's good. And I know that Black Order specifically doesn't have a lot of options to begin with.
Yeah.
And on top of that, First of the Black Order really is like they aren't trying to make it so you can't bring in non-affiliated people, but they kind of passively punish you for doing it.
Yeah.
Like, because nobody's getting bonuses unless you're part of the Black Order.
Correct.
So, at least unless you're running Thanos. I like the idea of Corvus, but I kind of also like the idea of also not just bringing Corvus and using like Black Swan at a 5 with Supergiant and Proxima and the other one there.
Ebony Maw or Black Dwarf?
Black Dwarf. And just trying to run wide?
Yeah.
And then maybe if you have the points, I mean, because even I don't know, it's tough because Ebony Maw's a 5 threat without gems, right?
Yeah.
So you're looking at a 5 or possibly 6 if you put Mind on him.
I think it's Mind in Space.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's Soul in Space.
Maybe it's Soul in Space. But I don't know. I like the I want to see really cool builds that aren't with Corvus necessarily. Although I think we're gonna see that.
Mind in Space.
Mind in Space. Okay.
So
yeah, it's very similar to Loki.
With his rework, yeah, I don't hate him at a 6.
No.
Especially especially with the Mind Gem. And it's actually very specifically, if we are going to be moving towards a place where we are going to be giving Thanos that little bit of R&R, that little vacation he needs to go on, there's not. You need that Mind Gem there. Having the Mind Gem as far as turn efficiency, being able to move enemy characters in to get murked, is super important to have. So, yeah, I think Ebony Maw maybe even sees a little resurgence there. He's tougher. I like that a lot. That's 3. That's 4 power a turn.
Yeah.
On Maw.
I mean, he's 6 threat, but now he has enough power to just do everything that he needs to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that you're looking at math, 11 threat, like invested 11 threat right off the bat in 2 characters.
But that's not much. That Black Order's used to that. You know
right.
what I mean? So
I think what I wanted was a different feel to Black Order. Granted, yes, they're going to play much different than with Thanos Black Order. The old TOB, if you will, the TOB.
Yeah. Tobbing around.
Yeah.
The old Toblerone.
Yes. The one and the same. Only can get them really at an airport. The good size.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean you're not gonna go through the checkout and get
a lot lower calorie
Thanos.
than I expected them to be too for the sure heft of a Toblerone.
That's true. You drop that on an infant's head and it's over.
Yeah.
Punished.
Correct. Yeah, his calories are done for
Call
the
him
day.
Frank Castle. We got there. I was proud of us. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
Yeah. I really, really loved Black Swan.
Yeah.
And I like where they're going with it. I really like Supergiant just because Supergiant feels so different than anybody else in Black Order. And I'm sure I'm going to play Black Swan or Supergiant wrong for a long time because I'm just not going to get it.
Yeah.
But I like the idea.
I love the idea of yoinking the senator from range 5 away and then just piecing out of there.
Yeah.
Because it's not an action. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Just bye.
Bye. Just bouncing or just throwing a bunch of hammers on her?
Yeah. I mean, so she can only interact with civilian tokens.
Oh, civilian tokens. Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
From that range.
What ones have civilians?
Spider Infected, Senator, and there's a third one.
Raven Guard. Are those good for Black Order that have civilians? I mean, obviously now they're going to try to push for it, I guess, but
yeah. Or she just gets splashed into other lists to be.
I'm also not crazy about the concept. But summer's coming up. You guys are going to probably be running the league again, but you guys are doing the What If League this time?
I don't know exactly what we're going to do. We're going to do some other league of some form.
I am curious. Could you pull it up right now? Tell me what the Power Bottom 10 is as it stands right now.
That would not be an easy lookup, Chuck, but as long as you're willing to fill the dead space.
I am. Look, I'm excited for a lot of things that are coming down the pipe, and ultimately, I think it's Grogu and Mondo getting added to Legion from Atomic Mass. But I also really like the idea of what potential we could see with Mini Extravaganza. They have a lot of teases coming out, and they have a lot of potential for really bringing in some very unique, fun characters. Do I think we're going to get Fantastic Four? No. But I do think that Tim's going to tell me what the Power Bottom 10 is now.
So I forgot it's still Season 7. We haven't moved on to Season 8 yet of the TTS League.
That's true.
Xavier Protocols is where we are pulling this information from, and they just do incredible work over there as far as stats and really kind of diving into the numbers of a lot of this, which I personally very much enjoy. So the Power Bottom 10 currently from the bottom up is going to be Vanilla Daredevil, Black Widow, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., Viper, Punisher, Ant-Man, Wasp, our boy Ultron, Peter Parker, Spider-Man, Bob, Agent of Hydra, and Ebony Maw.
Really?
I like it.
That's a very interesting group. No affiliation though, so you're running unaffiliated the entire time. So because like last time you could hypothetically have
I
been
was able
Guardians.
to run Guardians, and then they got reworked, and it put them in a great spot.
Yeah.
A couple that were actually very close to being included were War Machine, and Taskmaster is actually the one that I'm surprised about. But with a lot of new additions to some of the affiliations that were a little
Yeah, he doesn't really
character
need.
starved,
Yeah,
he's not as needed.
I don't think Rogue Agent really matters anymore.
That's fair.
I am a little surprised to see. I know Bucky does work now, but I'm surprised Bucky's not closer in the bottom.
Oh, Bucky's insane now.
Yeah.
Just absolutely stupid good.
I really like that. That
Like-
makes me really happy because I loved him. I loved him prior.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
But I got your back being able to get 2 attacks off now.
Yeah, just
is
brutal.
just awesome.
wouldn't you remember it?
So yeah,
Yeah.
very specifically, I got hosed in a tournament because I forgot a couple of them. But you know,
Cassandra Nova not on there.
very
Mitch,
close.
What's,
very
what's
close.
going on? Anyway, I just thought that was really interesting. I also find is that forthright Peter Parker? Yeah, it's forthright
Yeah,
Peter
the old
Parker.
PP Parker.
Interesting. I'd kind of like to see you bring it, mainly because I think Daredevil deserves better.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It really hurts my soul, and I want to know what people were running prior to like last year, why he wasn't on the list. Was Web Warriors doing good then?
Maybe, and that was before Amazing Spider-Man came out too.
Yeah.
So maybe he was kind of needed.
Yeah,
to be
because
able
they
to
really just
fill out
had
the
those.
affiliations in
Yeah.
the time.
Hey, he's really good in Web Warriors, but I don't think
Yeah.
people are running Miles anymore.
Well, and Iron Man was on the Power Bottom 10 before, but with the resurgence of Hulkbusters as well as
Helios Laser Cannon.
Helios Laser Bombardment, it just his stock went right.
Yeah,
back
I
up.
mean,
well, and
you-
we ran that before the updates, the November 2021 character card update. So that really drastically changed the Power Bottom 10 a lot because almost everyone on that list got better.
yeah, that's actually.
I mean,
very true.
Gamora, Star-Lord, Ultron, Bullseye. I mean, I think most of that list was upgraded.
What do you think they have to do to Ultron?
I think he's in a great spot now. I like him a lot. I'm surprised, actually, now that you mention it. Yeah,
Yeah,
that he's at
I'm
the
like,
bottom here.
why aren't people using him?
Um,
Because he just doesn't fit into anything.
maybe it's some.
He's only
residual hate.
aligned with Cabal, so maybe that's why.
That could be a part of it. Is he doesn't really fill out anyone's affiliations, but to have Incinerate on a Wild on a Builder, I mean, Cable's got it, but
Yeah, he's a fourth threat.
he's a 4 threat. 4/3/4 for
Yeah,
defenses.
I mean, he's a bit of a tank.
Analyze and Annihilate's now a passive, just an innate. It's always on. Like I think he's immune to bleed and poison,
Right. Okay. Interesting.
but
I don't know. It really bums me out because I love Daredevil so hard in this game, and it just really bums me out to see him so to the bottom.
it's difficult for me personally to take Vanilla Daredevil with Shadowlands Daredevil out there.
Yeah, they play so different though.
They do.
Yeah.
They do, but it's just he's so. I don't have to wait for things to be lined up.
Sure.
I go there and I make sure I get lined. You know what I
Right.
mean? And it's a very different vibe, but hand edges.
Been a while since I've been on. It's been over a month now that we've had Shadowlands Daredevil and
Yeah.
Elektra. How do we feel about hench grunts?
So
Brunchmen, if you will.
once I got the hang of them, I liked them a lot. We obviously played them wrong for a lot of that first month, even going to tournaments and still not knowing exactly how they were used. But I dig them a lot. I think they're a huge, awesome piece of both of those characters and of Nick Fury. I am surprised that they don't get more play. Specifically, Nick Fury's shield doesn't seem to be hugely popular. But
Why do you think that is?
I think the shield affiliation is kind of packed with characters that people don't really have a lot of appreciation for. Hawkeye, Agent Widow, regular 3-point Iron Man, War Machine. I maybe War Machine's not actually in there either, but
No, I'm pretty sure he is.
I like it a lot. Yeah, War Machine is in there, and Winter Soldier.
Were soldiers in there? Oh wow, they finally gave him an affiliation. Good
Must
for
be.
him.
Maybe that's new. I don't feel like
Yeah,
I
I
recall
don't.
that.
I feel like that must be very new in the updates. I
Yeah.
didn't realize that. Yeah, that's kind of because like there's no two threat or two threat Black Widow, but
Yep.
you're gonna take the two threat Black Widow over Agent of Shield Black Widow every time because you need that two threader. I mean, maybe you put them both in your roster, but
Yeah, or they could. Yeah, they could both. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always get confused which one's roster and which one's squad. You said it
Right.
correctly.
but I don't know. I think that also Hulkbuster is not out yet in the States, right?
No, he is.
Oh, is he finally? Okay,
Yep.
good for him. He deserves it.
Yep, you can get
Got off
him
that
at
boat.
you can get him at good old bearddragongames.online.
Online. Or BeardRunGames.brick and mortar if you live in the central New York area.
That's true. But yeah, back to Ultron quick. 4 is a very tough spot. 4 is very, very,
True.
very competitive, and I think I don't think it is a super common place to be splashing 4s out of affiliation.
Yeah, and I guess when you don't have an affiliation that truly benefits him,
Right.
it's kind of
Especially because he doesn't have a lot of powers that actually cost anything anymore. Because they made Analyze and Annihilate a passive.
right.
Um,
Good for him.
right? He got a little bit of a glow up. I like it a lot.
Yeah. I don't know. I should probably try to run him someday. 'Cause I've never ran him because I think I might still have the model. I think he's on the sprue though. But
Taylor ran him a couple weeks ago on the power phase with like an all metal list.
Mhm.
And I was shocked. I was surprised at how good he was now.
Hmm.
I like him a lot. He's a solid piece. But once again, if you're not playing Cabal, you're probably not playing him.
Yeah, it tracks.
Speaking of,
Yeah.
What If this past weekend?
Yes, let's talk about it.
Uh,
I popped in for a second. Looked like you guys were having a grand old time, a jolly old time.
we were. We ended up. I think we had 7 players show up. We got kind of a really good mix of skill levels as well. We had some people that were very new, some very experienced people, and kind of everything in between. And one thing that I really like about this particular game and the community that's built around Marvel Crisis Protocol is that everyone still had a great time.
Yeah.
It was a more casual event, but people were super cool. Everyone was into it. One of my favorite parts, we did stream it as well over at the Twitch. It'll be over on the YouTube here shortly probably as well. We streamed the draft this time and were able to kind of video people going up and what they were picking and kind of do a lot of that live. And that was very fun. Some of the neat combos we saw. And this one was cool. One of the players, Wolf, who drove from Maryland to come play in this.
Atta
Which,
boy.
Guy Otis and Wolf were just first off just super cool people, but they had incredibly painted models too that were like all metallics.
Oh yeah. Okay, I saw those.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
they
really
looked
cool.
Awesome. So he did not choose a leader until I think like 3rd or 4th round
Okay.
of picks.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's late. Okay. I would think
is.
everybody would have jumped on affiliation right off the bat.
Guess who we got though?
Steve Rogers Avengers.
Thanos.
Oh.
Thanos was still around in round 4 of the
Yeah, it
draft.
tracks. I guess if you weren't planning on playing Black Order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he went first in the What If at Adepticon, so I assumed that Thanos was going to go early.
Yeah.
But he did not. But he ran Thanos with the Space Gem,
Okay.
Hulkbuster, Omega Red, Black Dwarf, Dr. Voodoo, Rogue, Magic, and Black Cat.
Jeez, I'm crow.
Yeah.
All right.
So very specifically,
He
Thanos
did
and
what-
Hulkbuster on the
Was
same
Dr.
team.
Voodoo his first pick?
His first pick was... I don't think so. I forget who his first pick was. I have it on a different list, but I think his first pick was Rogue, or maybe it was Dr. Voodoo. But so that was a super cool list. We also saw a criminal syndicate that had Mr. Sinister on it that actually did some work setting up some of the genetic splicing.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, yeah. Actually, I mean, he's playing out of affiliation, but now that he's in there, he gets bonus for affiliation. Mr. Sinister on Crime Syndicate, I mean, he's a 4th threat, but actually not bad. If it was a Kingpin or...
It was Kingpin.
Okay.
It also had Loki with the Mind Gem.
Yeah.
Vision, MODOK, Hood, Crystal, and Ronin.
Nice. Okay.
The winner, though, I see him in chat right now, Mr. Keebler Ren, ran Midnight Suns. Also did not pick a leader right away either. First pick was Hulk.
Okay.
By the way, Keebler ended up winning the whole thing.
Uh-huh.
Went 3-0 undefeated, and we'll go over his entire roster here in a second. So he ran Blade, Hulk, Ghost Rider, Wong, Proxima, Mystique, Iron Fist, and Gambit.
Ooh, okay.
For Secures, he had Demons Downtown, Infinity Formula, and Riot Sparks.
Okay.
For Extractions, he had Skulls, Wakandan Herbs, and Mutant Extremist.
Okay.
Some of the best extraction choices came out of his tables.
Okay.
Regularly set his opponents to a very heavy disadvantage by choosing 14 threat for Extremists.
That tracks.
A lot of people went really big characters.
Yeah.
Taylor had a list or a roster that was, let me see if I have it here, but it had a bunch of big boys. It was A-Force with like Venom and Green Goblin. And it was,
all right.
It was actually pretty cool to see. It doesn't look like I have his sheet here, but I have that list written down somewhere. Oh, and I'll go over Dan's too before we move on. And he ran actually a very similar list that I was running at the tournament there in Syracuse that was led by Shadowlands Daredevil, had Bullseye, X-23, Baron Zemo, Clea, Hawkeye, Lizard, and Corvus Blade with the Reality Gem.
Well, I mean, if you're going to copy the best, you know what I mean?
Well, I guess I thought it was more... Well, I copied Nate GG. It was 100% his list.
Yeah,
but,
true. That's what I said. I mean, if you're going to copy the best, you copy the guy who copied the best.
And here's the thing that I loved is that Keebler took Dark Past as one of his tactics cards.
Okay.
That he just really wanted to use. He's like, I took Gambit. I'm going to take Dark Past, and I'm going to use it at some point, too. But he had Dark Past, Sacrifice, Indomitable, Brace for Impact, Field Dressing, Deal with the Devil, because how could you not?
Yep.
Heroes for Hire, Siege of Darkness, Deception, and Bats the Ghost Hound.
Okay.
I watched, I think we streamed, I think it was just one of his games. It was up against Dan, where Dan had Taylor. It was up against Taylor, who had 3 models.
Mm-hmm.
He ran Venom, Green Goblin, and She-Hulk.
Mm.
And Keebler ran, I believe, Blade, Hulk, Ghost Rider. Nope, no Hulk. It was Blade, Ghost Rider, Wong, and Mystique on Demons Downtown and must have been Mutant Extremists. Or no, it was Infinity Formula, I think. And yeah, Infinity Formula and Mutant Extremists. And just there was nothing that could be done about it. Wong or Ghost Rider with that Senator just couldn't be touched.
Okay.
Short movers with Venom couldn't catch up to people. Were just kind of holding back points. It was a rough one to watch, but
you hate to see it, Chuck.
Yeah, Keebler did an incredible job.
What was it like watching not you versus somebody else for once?
It was nice. It reminded me of being at Adepticon, which is always a nice feeling.
Without you had to drive all the way to the store.
Mm-hmm.
No help.
No help.
Ridiculous.
Keebler didn't even offer to drive me to lunch or anything.
Well,
He drove Taylor.
Huh.
I bet Taylor didn't offer to help you drive.
Wow, probably not. Probably just sat in the back.
But yeah, that having those 14 threats in there to really throw off people that are used to playing big, heavy boys.
Right.
We got to see kind of on display there as a very legitimate tactic that I think people need to reconsider if they don't throw one in there just because. Hulkbuster was his first pick. Okay. I thought it was later for some reason, but yeah. So Midnight Suns won the whole thing.
I love to see it.
Yeah. Yep.
I love to see it.
So what would have been your first pick? We saw a couple people leave their leadership choice until later. So the rule was your first leader that you chose was the affiliation that you were playing.
Okay.
But your first choice did not have to be a leader.
Okay. I mean, it'd probably be like if my first pick.
Yeah. Would you go leader first, or would you go for a hot piece like Rogue or Hulkbuster?
I
Bullseye?
probably would have gone with a hot piece / my leader, which would have been Blade, just because I'm in a very much I want to play Blade mood.
Yeah.
But I don't. Yeah, probably. But then also I would have been like, Ant-Man's my number 2 pick.
Ant-Man. I like that.
I love a good Ant-Man.
Trying to go Kingpin or Criminal Syndicate, or just Ant-Man in general?
No, I think Ant-Man with like Dark Siege would have been dope as hell.
Okay.
Yeah.
I dig that.
Yeah, I mean, because he gets he'd get the uppercut for free.
Yeah.
And then being able to go big size, and then being able to punch, then activation turn, be able to punch down small, and then just finger guns and fly away.
Oh my gosh, you know what I love is that oops all rapid fire and rerolls list with
Dark Siege.
With Dark Siege.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Or Wakanda Forever. Like whatever sets you up for it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
Ooh. Interesting.
But that was super fun. I think one of the next events that we're going to try to run at Bearded Dragon might be an affiliation battle.
Okay.
Where your roster can only consist of characters of a single affiliation and can include rogue agents.
Okay.
Especially as
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Especially as we're seeing some of those affiliations kind of fleshed out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Black Order's going to get some love. Asgard's going to get some love. Maybe, hopefully, we'll see Wakanda getting the same thing.
It would be kind of nice to see some Wakanda stuff.
Some Wakanda and
I feel like
humans.
The last edition that they had was Storm.
Yep.
And I don't think it was to their benefit. She didn't really add anything to them other than an additional body.
Right.
Yeah.
Some throws. Not insane ones, but she's got a good throw, I feel.
Yeah, okay. I'll give you throw.
But
also nobody's playing Wakanda really.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So.
But yeah, Wakanda and Inhumans would be top of my list of factions that really kind of need some new bodies.
Ms. Marvel's on the way. I think that's really going to help Inhumans.
Yeah, I mean she's here. She's here as well now.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Listen, I don't know what day it is.
It is weird because we got access to those very
super early. Yeah, and I don't remember.
Scotty.
Yeah, shout out to Scotty. I don't know if you're still watching, bud. I'll miss you. You know, scamp. I like they need, because they have to offset Black Bolt anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But shout out to Sure Thing, who was on the Morlocks podcast.
Yeah,
talking about Black Bolt specifically, and you want to know why I know he's a fan? Because he's talking about how great he just wants to super punch or master punch.
Yeah,
he doesn't even worry about whisper. He just master punches everything, and I was like, hell yeah. That's all. I mean, a lot of people are like, "Oh, you got to set up for the whisper. You got to set up for the whisper." No, the whisper is a trap. Master punch yourself across the board. It makes him so unbelievably deadly and mobile.
Yeah.
Oh my god, range 3, and you get to place yourself after 1 inch. Hell yeah.
Right.
Hell yeah.
So I dig that a lot. I think it gives a chance to shine for some of the lesser played affiliations to kind of come in.
Mm-hmm.
So I think maybe over the summer that'll be the next event that we try to do, is the affiliation battle.
Okay. Chat, has anybody ever ran Black Bolt in Cabal?
Ooh.
So he's just generating more energy off his Master Punch? Kind of like that as an idea.
I like that. Master Punch is not his spender. I haven't looked at Black Bolt's card in a long time.
But, no, it's his spender, but it's like his small spender.
Oh, Energy Bolt. Yeah, it says so Master Punch. Okay, so you get a teleport and
you get a teleport. It's range 3
and a throw of size 4 or less.
Yeah, like it's really good. So if you put him in Cabal, where he's just generating more, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really good.
Okay, yeah, I dig that.
Yeah, I'm a big Master Punch guy.
Yeah, I can see why.
Mm-hmm. It's good.
It's a good card, and I like throwing to people. And you get the teleport too,
and
it's range 3. I kind of like everything about it.
Yep.
I need to run some Inhumans.
Yeah, the only thing that hurts is he has that 2 Mystic.
Yeah, and Mystic's kind of all over the place right now.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get down pretty hard by some
Convocation.
some old hood rapid fire with no guns.
That's true. He doesn't use them.
The old hex pokes.
Doesn't need them.
Accurate.
Finger gun him and walk away. You know what I mean?
So
Ministravaganza?
Yeah, speaking of something that may be revealing some new characters here soon, Ministravaganza coming up next weekend.
Wild speculation.
Wild speculation. So we did get a little from AMG today, or maybe it was early in the week, with an invitation that says, join us as we celebrate a renewal of vows. Atomic Mass Games and Ministravaganza request the pleasure of your company on June 9th to 11th for a Marvel Crisis Protocol campaign. Please RSVP by preparing squads for a selection of unique missions at the following threat values. Thursday, June 9th will be threat value 19, Friday, June 10th, threat value 17, and Sunday, June 11th, threat value 17 as well. Mystique is featured heavily around this. It is Pride Month. I would be stoked if we were going to be seeing Destiny as a character reveal coming up for this event.
The recently resurrected wife of, I believe you were telling me?
Correct. The recently resurrected wife of Mystique.
Love that.
Krakoa stuff. It was like a big deal, and Mystique did a lot of things to be like, no, we're bringing her back. We're going to do it. And even though it was against the rules, they got it done.
Interesting.
Spoiler alert. But she's a precog with a crossbow.
Hey.
You know what I mean?
What's a precog mean?
Precognitive. They can see the future.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
That's a cute little thing. And then she shoots you with a crossbow.
She points somewhere and fires, and she knows you're going to be there.
That's right as hell.
Isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a hand crossbow, but
Still.
I always dug the character Maverick from the X-Men as well. That was a character that could see like 3 to 5 seconds in the future.
Sure.
So he was constantly like firing in random directions. The stuff was blowing up, and then people would blow up and get launched into his bullet stream and stuff. He was kind of rad.
Okay. So last time we got the battle, it was the Doctor Strange battle.
Yep.
My brain is completely blanking on what it actually was. But
it was the Empiricruels
yes,
versus the Magicians.
that's right. And like this time we're gonna get that, and shortly after, we got Convocation.
Yes.
Do you think that we're going to get something X-Men related now?
That would be super cool.
Get Destiny. Who do you think Destiny's boxed with?
Pyro
Oh, okay, I could see that.
would be a solid one. I think, and that one's not even mine. I can't even take credit for that. That was Steven Jesenowski,
There you go.
I'm gonna say. But Destiny coming
Old
with
Steve J.
Yeah, Stevie J.
Yeah.
Paired with Pyro or Xavier, I think would be spot on.
Do you think Xavier has a spy here?
Legitimately, no, probably not. But
It'd be weird.
But I think Pyro.
Do you think he would be
the
the first non-interactive character to exist?
Ooh.
So, like, essentially, there's a model for him, and he exists, and he's on the field, but you can't physically attack him. You have to do other things, like only conditions apply to him, but the more conditions he gets causes him to, like, that's how he essentially receives his damage.
So this is kind of a little out there. Sweet Biscuit says Emma Frost. I would love Emma Frost.
That would make
in this
sense.
game. But especially as they're adding a lot of Mystic stuff to a lot of affiliations, that would be. But unregardless.
Regardless, yes.
Well, I've been told irregardless is not a word.
It is.
So
It is a word. It's just redundant.
right, so I got. Anyway, I got in some arguments at work where people were like, it's not a word. And I was like, it's in the dictionary. It's a word. I'll bet you $20 it's not in there. And I still have not received my $20.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Huh.
Or
Irregardless.
Yeah, unregardless. So we have, what was I talking about?
Shooting Xavier with magic bullets.
Yes.
Yeah.
I forget where I was going with that.
You were saying something, I don't know.
They were adding Mystic to other things. Oh, well.
Yeah. I don't know. It sounded cool.
Yeah, but maybe some fancy couples. Maybe we'll get Jane Foster Thor. There are at least 2 things on the schedule for Ministravaganza talking about Asgard.
Okay.
So I think we'll be able to see Scourge and Scourge and Heimdall in action during one of the plays, but they're going to be talking about Asgard during a separate event during the weekend as well.
My assumption would be we're going to see their cards officially.
Yeah.
And then I think we're also going to get announced. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe we're just going to get a ton of Asgard stuff.
Yeah, we might get the Warriors 3, Sif, Gore the God Butcher.
I wouldn't be surprised if we got maybe I don't know if Odin, but I wouldn't be surprised if we got Gore the God Butcher. Honestly,
new Thor and Jane Foster Thor.
So I think we might get Thor the Destroyer. Is that what he becomes?
The Unworthy.
Is it Unworthy? It's something like that. Yeah.
Or Odin.
Conan the Destroyer. I was just thinking. Okay, never mind. Speaking of, we have to watch Conan at some point. But I could see Jane Foster Thor coming in as the new affiliation leader.
Yes.
Hercules has been teased for Love and Thunder.
Oh, Beta Ray Bill. Yeah, Ravensguard.
Yeah. Oh, we wish.
Ooh, Jane Foster Thor and Beta Ray Bill box. I'm buying 4.
I mean, I don't think we'll get Hercules in a box, but I would love to get Hercules.
Yeah.
Make him like a 4-threat better Colossus. Like an offensive Colossus, I think would be really cool. But I could probably see Gore the God Butcher. I could see a Jane Foster Thor. Maybe King Valkyrie.
Or Valkyrie and a Pegasus.
Yeah, maybe our first mounted character.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool. Big base.
Maybe a new Loki, variant Loki, or Sylvie, or...
Lady Loki.
Yep.
That could be cool.
Especially if they do Illuminati. At one point, maybe it was the Cabal. There was like the counter Illuminati that had like...
Throg.
Throg would be...
Yeah, Ravensguard, I hope we get Throg. Throg and Alligator Loki.
Or, well, very specifically, Alligator Loki on a destroyer body. We did kind of spoil that a couple weeks ago.
That's true, you did.
We know it's coming. It's going to be a big part of the new terrain set. And actually, that's the other thing that we might see is a new Asgard terrain set.
That'd be really cool. Just a new table, you know? Yep. Not that I don't love the street stuff. Like, it's very thematic for Marvel Cross Protocol, but they have such a rich universe to pull from.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to call it right now. Right here, right now, officially.
Yeah.
New box of bases to go with the Asgard group.
I dig that.
I'm calling it right now. That is my big caw of a mini extravaganza. New box spaces.
Okay. I think my big check of mini extravaganza will be Jane Foster Thor. What I want is Gore the God Butcher.
Yeah. We saw the trailer officially. How bummed are you that Gore the God Butcher has been officially revealed?
Bummed that he's revealed? Not
really.
Bummed.
I was a little bummed. I kind of liked the idea of like they just keep this happy, peaceful tone to all of the stuff, and then have him come in the movie and bum us all out.
Once again, if it hadn't been like spoiled or leaked or talked about like forever ago that Christian Bale was going to be playing Gore the God Butcher, I would very much like, and very legitimately, even Kevin Feige's come out and said that we put too much in the trailers. I do want some surprise. I want to have some suspension of disbelief when I go into a movie.
He looked a little too much like Christian Bale.
Yeah, he had a nose.
Yeah, I know. I think that was my main thing. I was like, oh, he's got a nose.
Keebler says danger room terrain.
That'd be dope. That'd be really cool. Do you think that they did it on purpose so people didn't think he was Ebony Maw? Because literally he looks like Ebony Maw.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, he's Ebony Maw with like Twi'lek. Wow, is that the word? Is Twi'lek the right Star Wars race?
I have no idea.
With the tentacles.
Oh yeah, sure.
Twi'lek.
I don't know. Dan's not here.
Why am I like? I feel like I'm mixing.
Yeah, Twi'lek sounds right.
I feel like I'm mixing it up with like a Legend of Zelda, like the Twi'lek princess.
I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the one where you could turn into a space wolf. But yeah, I could see any of those things. I think Gore's a really cool character. I've loved his story, and I would love to see him in the game.
What do you think these 3 threats for the event's going to look like?
So that's the thing. They've given so little here.
Yeah.
Right? Where the magicians or the convocation versus empirical, you kind of had scaling up powers. One was a little bit more mystical and one was more tech-based, and you got to choose.
I believe they also went in ascending order of threat.
Yeah.
This is descending order
This is
of threat.
descending. So maybe more of a war of attrition, or maybe what if it's like The Bachelor or something, right? Where like you start with a bunch and then some people get paired off and they go do their own thing, and then it's like the pool is shrinking. It's like dating in your 30s. You know what I mean? Oh my gosh, that would be a super cool event. Really niche, good on them, but that would be dope. That would be dope.
Little rose tokens.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. All right.
And any pair that gets matched off, you can't use in subsequent games.
Okay. All right. I'm here for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Dating simulator. It's the one thing MCP's been missing.
It's true. I can't disagree with that.
Yep.
Can't disagree with that. Anything outside of MCP that you're excited about? Real quick, Legion talk. Ewoks confirmed.
Yeah, and Mando and Grogu.
Yeah, which I'm
honestly, I am very excited.
I'm not gonna lie, Ewoks kind of got me hyped for like dusting off my Rebels, because
Yeah.
I have Rebels and Empire. That's the only 2 things I have. I thought about getting into Republic. I don't. It's one of those things. I don't care about droids. I just love all the characters that are there.
Yeah.
But I want to play Empire because I want Bossk and I want Boba Fett. Obviously, Bossk is hands down probably my favorite. And with what's his face coming out soon, or the Shadow Collective, they're adding like all these new bounty
Pike Syndicate. And,
yeah,
they're adding a bunch of new bounty hunters and
like re-updating their cards and stuff. So it's really cool. I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, same.
Do you think, even though they just had Star Wars Celebration, they announced a lot of stuff, do you think we are not gonna see a ton of MCP announcements?
Obviously we are Marvel sweethearts. You know, till we renew our vows during Ministravaganza. But
true.
I'm super into Star Wars. I'm very excited to start playing Legion and dipping my toe in there. So
they haven't even talked about the X-Wing stuff that they'll probably announce too.
Right.
On top
or
of that, so.
There's an Armada section of the week as well. But yeah,
which I think they're announcing like their new like organized play stuff, which is great.
Yeah.
I mean, anything for Armada is great. That community legitimately is diehard for that and deserve it. So, but I think it'll be interesting because it was still very heavy MCP last time.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if we're gonna see just like heavy Legion stuff. But
so
there has to be one big reveal.
Yes.
Jane Foster Thor. What if they pull a swerve on us, like all together? Like they're like, yeah, okay, so here's Asgard. This is what you're getting.
Yeah.
What if it's like, swerve, psych, you just got worked, bro. Here's Ice Loki, Ice Giant Loki.
Yeah.
And then like an Ice Giant character, and it's like an evil Asgard group. Hela gets like a new card updated. You know what I mean? It's like all the villains of Asgard just like show up to just
Suitor.
Oh, what's the big guy? The big guy that causes Ragnarok?
Suitor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get like an 8-threat suitor. It's just 2 feet stomping around, you know what I mean?
Or an ultimate encounter where you're trying. Yeah, I think there's a lot you could do.
Yeah.
There, especially with a new terrain set, maybe an ultimate encounter that goes with the terrain set. Or
I
something.
think maybe I do generally think, what if they got Suitor just sitting there waiting for us?
Or the Ice Giant Loki from the What If series.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah. Party Boy Thor.
I'm going to be really bummed out when none of this is accurate.
Right.
You know?
I mean, if they really want a new classic Coke this, I think the way you go is you reveal a new Thor that's a non-leader.
Uh-huh.
And Jane Foster Thor, right? You get all the hype about that. Old Thor gets left out in the corner until Q3, Q4 this year when they do another round of updates, making Cyclops better and giving some of the tweaks that need it. And then they make Thor good by giving him Invulnerability 1. And then people are like, whoa, old Thor's really good now too.
Yeah, actually, that might do it.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think an unworthy Thor would look like? Because he did Stormbreaker then.
Yeah. So I think he has Pierce instead of Shock.
Okay.
He probably still has a throw.
Uh-huh.
Maybe no.
Do you think a shorter throw?
Could be a shorter.
Because the range
throw.
4, right?
Yeah.
So it'd be down to range 3, but maybe a 1 extra strength on it, so it's a strength 5 throw, which would be gross.
Maybe a cleave of some form.
No longer has flight.
Ooh.
Right? He doesn't have.
He does have flight.
Does he have flight?
Yep.
Can he fly without Mjolnir?
Great question. It depends on which comic you're reading.
Okay. Because I was always under the impression that he could only fly because he essentially was throwing Mjolnir and just holding on for dear life.
Yeah, I think that's the most canon. But
Okay.
I think there's been a lot of instances of that not being the case.
Dumb, stupid, hate it.
But yeah, I think you go one of two ways. You either make him stronger and make a 6th threat unworthy Thor, which kind of doesn't make sense. He's supposed to be less powerful, but he'd be a little bit more of a brawler.
Yeah.
But I dig it.
I also would probably see him losing his charge, but then gets to do like maybe a follow up.
Yeah. So that's what I was like. The Gamora's attack there that gets the follow up attack.
Yep.
I think something like that. That more of a cleave dealio. Cosmic Assassin. Yes.
Yeah, I could see that instead.
Yep. Same.
AMG, send the check. You know what I mean? We're writing all your stuff for you. You're welcome.
But what else did we have to talk about? So we talked about Ministravaganza. We talked about the What If event. Oh, the game Dan and I played this past week.
Oh, yeah.
On the Power Phase, which is at twitch.tv/Professional Casual Network every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern, live from Bearded Dragon Games. We played a couple fan lists.
Okay.
Sidious Mike sent a roster. I used half of that roster that was called Take Your Kid and Clone to Work Day.
Okay.
It was an X-Force list
It's a very PCN list. Yeah.
It is. It was.
Uh-huh.
And it was lethal too.
Really?
It was Cable and Cyclops as father and son.
Okay.
And then Wolverine, X-23 and Honey Badger as the Take Your Clones to Work.
Sure.
That was up against, I believe it was Sure Thing. Had a list for Dan that was all about big bases called Size Matters. So Dan ran Dormammu, Black Dwarf, and Hulkbuster.
Oh, okay.
And I believe it was the first time he was able to use Hulkbuster.
Yeah, sounds about right because you usually hog him.
I do hog him. He's one of my favorite pieces.
Yeah,
He's
fair.
awesome. So we played it. It ended up being very one-sided. Putting Dormammu's gross first off. Obliteration of Incantation of Obliteration. No breathing. Does work when you roll what you need to there.
Sure.
But attacking X-23 when she's close to you, not killing her, so Honey Badger gets in there and gets your defenses down to then have Wolverine and Cable incinerate and just eviscerate you.
Right.
Yeah, we cracked Hulkbuster round 2, killed him round 3 when he became Mini-Me. We also
I thoroughly appreciate that because Dan has only ever tried to do that and just can't.
I do it. I think I've done it the last 2 times I've played against Hulkbuster. But
what's the trick? How do you do it?
Oh, just focus fire him.
Oh, okay, fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, just throw everything at him.
Just throw everything. He's immune to no statuses. Get Incinerate on him. Get a Honey Badger or something up there, or have him roll less dice. Throw stuff into him. It doesn't matter. When he can build to take a punch is only when he's targeted, so it doesn't work on throws.
What's his affiliation ability?
Hulkbuster. So
you can't throw him, right?
No, everyone takes 1 less damage from throws or
is that
collisions.
What it is? Okay.
Which we might have forgot about, but he wasn't running.
Yeah, he was running Dark Dimension.
Yeah, he was Dark Dimension. But yeah.
Did that work well for him? Was he able to generate enough power?
Yeah.
To do stuff?
Yep. So when he had the power for stuff, it was stellar. Being able to explosive punch twice. Right. But then, I mean, after that, Hulkbuster wasn't around much longer.
Right.
But yeah. So did the affiliation work for him overall? Not really. But I don't think it was set up to really make full use of it. It was 3 models on Dark Dimension, which you kind of want to go wide.
Right. That's fair.
But
okay.
But yeah, and I think we played Researcher and Spider Portals. Nope, Cosmic Vaults, the one the traps.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a lot of misses on those traps where you're rolling your physical defense and you needed any hit, so crit, wild, or hit.
So you guys are just rolling like normal.
Right. So yeah, Dan round 1 whiffed with Black Dwarf. I whiffed with X-23, and then had to bring someone else up there to take it. And then Dormammu took it back, and Cyclops was just running back and forth trying to take them. But it was
like Cyclops.
Right.
Then has a motorcycle.
But I loved that roster. Sidious Mike did a great job with that. I love the theme. It fits for our brand perfectly.
Yeah.
And it was actually it was good. It was a good list. So that's the thing that I really like. The jokey list of like running everyone that's short movement or long movement or everyone that's blue and stuff is fine and fun. But if it can be effective as well, that's what I really like. So take your kid and clone to work day, I think was awesome.
Did you run X-Men Blue?
I ran X-Force.
X-Force, okay.
Because everyone on that list was X-Force except for Cyclops.
Right.
The other half of that list is Brotherhood and Cabal.
Okay.
So this next Monday, unless we end up doing something else, I will be running the other half of Bring Your Kid and Clone to Work Day, which will be Magneto, Quicksilver, and Scarlet Witch with Red Skull and Sin.
Okay. What are you running? Cabal or Brotherhood?
So that's the cool thing is, I mean, it's really it's
kind of either
it's a
or
4 affiliation list.
Yeah.
Or roster, which is awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
So I will probably run Brotherhood, but I don't know, extra energy on it or extra power on everyone's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah. Weirdly enough, Magneto kind of balances himself out there.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, his whole shtick is that he generates power when you destroy terrain, but if he's getting damage and then generating power anyway, makes him a little bit more aggressive than he wants to be, probably. But
I mean, very legitimate. I think there's 5 leaders on that.
Yeah.
Every other character is a leader.
Do you think Sin's Cabal could be fun in there?
I do. I never count out Sin's Cabal. I like it a lot, especially Well-Laid Plans and the new the Black Order now has a version of Well-Laid Plans. I think those effects are really cool, and what better way to do it than have it not be a tactics card that you just do every turn.
Right.
So I dig it. But Sin is someone that needs a little bit of help. To make them a little bit more viable so that people will take them. I thought she was okay on the oops, all rapid fire and rerolls list, but I also traded her out as soon as I could. For Craven.
What's her shtick? What's her affiliation ability? You get to do damage at the end of the turn if people are on objectives?
So you roll for anyone contesting or holding objectives during the power phase. Or maybe it's during the cleanup phase after they've scored points.
Okay.
So you can move characters contesting or characters holding stuff will drop it. Okay. If you roll what you need to roll.
Right. And then does she do something else? They count as being there until they're not there anymore or whatever? You count as holding it?
Let's see. So because it happens after victory points are scored, it doesn't really affect that until the following round. But yeah, so roll a die for each token contested by an allied character. If you roll a crit, hit, or wild, you can push them away from the token short. And same thing if they're holding it. But they need to be within range 2 of an allied character. So it's effectively you going up and slapping it out of their hands.
Gotcha.
Also with the same crit, wild, or hit.
Probably gonna wonder why they were crying.
Right? Because they just got dunked on. I ain't even lying.
I wonder. It was a part of me that wonders if like a grunt would be well in there, because it's just an extra body. So like an Electra.
Yeah.
On there,
dude. One thing that we saw, we went to that tournament at Comic Zone in Syracuse that Keebler Ren ran very well. You know what Black Order loves? Grunts.
Yeah.
Like bad, especially when they're forced to keep bringing them out every round. Yeah. Be careful out there, grunt players. Don't go up against Black Order.
Yeah, Gruntman will get you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually a really good point. I wonder if it's like, oh, everybody loves it, and it's like, oh yeah, except for the hard counters, Black Order.
Right.
And they're gonna win turn 2. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Now, granted, it's only like 1 or 2 extra victory points
Still.
every round for free for
Yeah.
rolling 2 successes on a die. But
Uh-huh. Listen, if I learned anything, shadow ninjas don't die. At least from my experience.
yeah,
Because when I played you could not get rid of them with a Hulkbuster if you wanted to.
that is true.
That's the thing that happened.
That's true. I also forgot to bring out my shield
That's
grunts.
true.
But like I said, we've learned a lot.
That's true.
Learned a lot from then.
Can't argue.
But guys, as always, that's going to do it for us here at Wait Did I Roll a Wild. Please make sure to check out the Facebook. Give us a like and a subscribe here on the YouTube if you'd enjoyed it. And if you're listening to the podcast version, it would actually mean quite a bit to us if you went and left a 5-star review on Audible, Apple Podcasts, or, Spotify. You can
Oh,
leave
the old
ratings on as
Spotify.
well. So those help us out a lot. We really appreciate it if you did that. As always, professionalcasual.com. Make sure to check out the live battle reports every Monday at the Twitch at twitch.tv/professionalcasualnetwork. And
Yes.
if you're, our local game store has been incredible to us. If you want to make our local game store your local game store as well, please head over to beardeddragongames.online. Use that code PCME10 for 10% off your order, and make sure to get your 15% off for any pre-orders. The Quinjet, Black Swan and Supergiant, or Heimdall and Scourge.
The Scourge.
The Scourge. But as far as that goes, guys, we'll see you next week, and make sure to give us a follow on the Twitch as well, as we will be streaming all of the events happening at the Atlantic City Open next weekend as well. We're super pumped for. The Coles will be there, as will Tactical Taylor. We got some new equipment. We got a new backdrop. We're going to be looking fine and fancy, and we're going to be seeing a bunch of you there. So come by, stop, hang out, say hi, pick up a business card, maybe a button if you don't already have one, maybe a magnet if they're in on time.
Or take a selfie in front of the giant banner that there's going to be. If it's there on time.
If it's there on time. But guys, that does it for us. Thank you so much once again for me and Big Chuck. I love you.
Real quick. Fried pickles or bloomin' onion?
Bloomin' onion.
Yeah, that makes sense. You seem like a bloomin' onion guy. No sauce, though?
I have come around on sauce a little bit.
Trying it?
I probably wouldn't try. I try a little bit of the sauce.
Okay. A little horseradish?
I need to get into pickles. Pickles are something I need to start eating.
Yeah, you seem like a pickle guy. I'm surprised you don't eat it more.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Same. So I just need to find the pickle that's right for me and go from
Sure.
there. So,
Oh, deep fried pickles, way to go, bud.
I think
Spicy.
on a long enough timeline, yeah, I just want to get those big gas station pickles.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So,
All right. Yeah, I don't see you enjoying a big gas station pickle, but maybe.
I mean, they're normally spicier, right?
They can be.
Or are they in an oil? Is it an oil or is it just a marinade?
It's a juice.
Okay.
It's a juice. Oh, yeah,
All
it's a pickling juice, yeah. That being said.
I don't know how to take that. Nick in chat just said, I'll take a selfie with Tim as he's a banner himself. I've lost a lot of weight, Nick, and
You're constantly a shill for the Professional Casual Network. You wear hats regardless of who's given them to you.
Right.
Except for one.
Except for one.
I
I don't wear white things, guys. If you want me to wear a t-shirt or a hat, if it's white,
It was the only color it came in.
oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
In the words of the Bloodhound Gang, I'm white, which comes with anything, but I can come in any color, and I'm looking for the kind of girl that reminds me of my mother. And with that, everybody, we will
Bye.
say see you next week.